The 2012 Tour de France has concluded, and I'm here to give you an update on TYT Sports. It's the 99th edition of the race, and for the first time ever, an Englishman won, Brad Wiggins. Actually, the race for the yellow, for the GC, was not that interesting. Wiggins was strong in the mountains, dominating in the time trials. He pretty much won easily. His closest rival was his teammate, who was deferring to him, which took a little more drama away. So for the yellow, this was not the most dramatic Tour de France. Where all the interest was in the sprinters stages. There were three great sprinters in this race. Andre Greipel of Germany, Mark Cavendish, and Peter Sagan, the new Slovak phenom in his first Tour de France. Each one of them won three stages. You never know who was going to beat who. Greipel beat Cavendish once, but on two stages, Cavendish got left behind in the crashes, so Greipel didn't have to contend with Cavendish. He beat Sagan twice, but Sagan beat Greipel once, and Cavendish in stage 18 had one of the great wins of his career, coming from way back to win that sprint. And then, of course, Cavendish won the final sprint in Paris this past Sunday, making it the fourth time in a row that he's won in Paris. Now look, a year ago I couldn't stand Mark Cavendish. He was really annoying. When he celebrated his victories, he would raise his arms in triumph and then he'd bend them back like this so you would see his forearm. I mean, only a weird English guy would do that. Didn't make any sense. But two things made me like him. First, he had also in previous years, he doesn't get that much credit for these wins. His team gets credit. HTC High Road in his previous years would just lead him right to the finish line and just deliver him perfectly. It was a great lead-out train, true team effort. But I saw him win a stage in this year's Giro d'Italia where he did it all by himself, weaving through his opponents to get to the finish line first. It was a fantastic effort. And that made me start to like him. And now, for some reason, when he raises his fists in triumph, he does it right. He doesn't flip them out like this. He holds them up like a true champion. And his three victories here in the Tour de France in 2012 were fantastic, especially that stage 18 win. So now I'm a big Mark Cavendish fan, and I'll be rooting for him in the Olympics in the road race. He was not supposed to win too many stages this year because he was training for the Olympics or holding back for the Olympics, plus supporting Bradley Wiggins. But they managed to prepare for the Olympics, support Bradley Wiggins, and still win three stages. It's a great, great Tour de France for Mark Cavendish. What was fascinating about that is watching the yellow jersey participate in the lead-out train for Cavendish. Why am I talking so much about Mark Cavendish? I got to get over this. The other highlight of this year's Tour de France was the stage 14 tack incident. Tour de France is unlike any sporting event in the world. All the fans are right there, literally inches, at times 0 inches, actually touching the participants and the riders. They're climbing up those mountains with such determination, and the fans are right in their grill yelling. And it's amazing that more incidents don't happen. It's a great testament to the behavior of the French fans. But this year, at the top of the climb on stage 14, someone threw tacks all over the road, and rider after rider after rider was getting flat tires. It was craziness. But it didn't really affect the overall standings because the peloton waited and they all reunited by the time they got to the finish line. Now, the thing for Tour de France fans is every year it's a great race, and every year we say, but next year is going to be even better. Next year we're going to have Andy Schleck back and Alberto Contador, and the race director is going to make it more of a mountain stage, more of a climbing Tour de France rather than emphasizing the time trial. So it's going to be even more exciting than this year, which was more exciting than last year. This race never gets old. It's been 99 years. Next year it'll be 100. I love it every time. I wish I were 100 years old. I would have watched all of them. So that's your cycling update. Maybe I'll be back here for the Vuelta a España in another month and a half or so. And so stick to TYT Sports. Subscribe to this channel because we're going to have good updates all summer long.